Welcome to the 4% podcast. I'm LG Davies, and let's get into it. So, for the past 2 weeks, I haven't actually recorded anything. So it's a mixture of like the whole holidays coming up, but also just everything that needed to be sorted out. Like, I've been struggling to kind of get everything done. And I'm thinking about the fact that I bought the ring light, I bought the stands, I bought like the mics and everything in order to just kind of get through this whole recording thing. And everything has just kind of gone wayward. So, amidst all of everything that I've basically been busy with, um, the major thing is like the equipment that I bought, even though I basically spent very little money on actually getting all of these things, it ended up being like a bit of a waste. And it's been like a learning curve in terms of getting the right equipment in and what I want the podcast basically to look and sound like. And so I'm in that space basically of trying to kind of figure out exactly what I want to do and how I want to do it. But in the midst of all of that, I still have content that I want to get out. So right now, um, it's Christmas Eve, and it is like Christmas. In fact, it's like the day of Christmas. Like we just came back from the family, and I decided like if I don't start recording now, if I don't start working on getting some podcast episodes out, like I'm gonna lose the excitement. I'm gonna lose like the momentum that I actually build up to get to this place. So at this moment, my lighting isn't perfect, my mic, my sound isn't perfect, but I want to just get into this and kind of just get things done. So for the past 2 weeks, I've basically focused on growing my social media following, kind of just getting like stuff going up. So a couple of years back, I started a marketing agency. Things kind of picked up, but I got employed full time, and all the momentum that side basically was lost. But I had the page, so I had like 5,000 followers onto that page, and I converted it into a page. So it was a profile, a Facebook profile, and then I converted it into a page, and like I kind of just left it without actually working on it or doing anything specific with it. And when I started this whole journey, I decided like let me just go back to that profile and kind of tailor it towards what I want to do. So everything that I've been doing for the past 2, 3 months, it's been about personal branding. And I focused most of my attention onto TikTok because like I enjoy spending time on TikTok, and I've had success in terms of growing a brand on TikTok. So I started with that, and that didn't go according to plan. So I literally had to change like the whole setup. So I focused all my attention into the Facebook. And like for the first 4 weeks, it was just crickets. Like there was no engagement, there was no likes, there was no shares. And I kind of got despondent because now Facebook has this whole thing where they give you like a goal for the week, how many posts you need to put up, how many stories, how many reels you need to get out, and that basically like ranks your page up. And last week Thursday, I logged into the page, like the profile, and I saw that they started recommending my page, and like I was on the moon with this, like I was over the moon with that because I'm thinking like, wow, like there's some traction basically. And by going through that whole process and like every day, like every week basically, since like I said 4 weeks ago, I started consistently kind of just trying to hit those targets. And I've been doing it now successfully for 5 weeks. This is now the 6th week. And last week, my engagement, my views basically went up from 3,000 for the previous week to 18,000 this like last week. And I was like, yeah, now I'm moving in the right direction. It's like 18,000 people basically saw my stuff, and I got excited about that. And that kind of just like burnt like this whole thing of trying to build the brand up properly this time. And the challenge has been to actually like get content in to post regularly. So that's basically the one thing I've been struggling to do, just getting the correct, like I've been struggling to get the right content in order to actually hit those targets on Facebook. And while I was focusing on Facebook, my TikTok engagement basically just went down. So I need to figure that out. But even in the midst of all of that, my YouTube basically started taking up. So YouTube has been crickets for days. In a sense, like a video, I would post a video and it would like 3, 4, 5 views in like 3 or 4 days. Podcast episodes also basically slowed down. It's like averaging like 7 to 10 downloads on that side. And since last week now, I actually changed the format and also the style of the content I pushed out. And I've been seeing like an upward trend in terms of that. So there has been traction, there has been things happening. And like the lesson I'm taking away from all of this is that the consistency. So I've posted on LinkedIn where I said like consistency is important. Consistency is basically what will set you apart. And I literally had to do that myself in order to kind of say, okay, like this thing doesn't, like it does work. So this is basically just an update. Things are happening. There's progression, there's a learning curve. I'm well versed in terms of making mistakes and having to figure things out. So, yeah. So, in this space, yes, I'm excited for everything happening. Sorry, there's a light, like the Christmas lights at the back. So, I've had to move into the lounge. So, I'm not a stranger in terms of making mistakes and learning, and actually, like I always say, like I know what it is to pay school fees. I know what it is to make mistakes, to figure things out, and actually lose a lot of money in the process. But I also know how to make changes and actually make progress in terms of like making stuff work and be successful. So in this space, I'm excited for 2025 because everything that I've learned in the past 3 months has actually pushed me and it's made me more hunger to actually learn more and actually be successful in this space. Now, podcasting is something that's taking up, but it's also something that's going to be saturated in the next couple of months. And I know that it's going to be hell to actually be seen and actually be successful in this space. But for the brand that I'm building and also for the services that I'm rendering, the business stop. So the podcast will play a pivotal role in terms of scaling that business. And everything that I'm learning this side is also transferable skills that I can actually take into the other business and also into any other business that I move forward into this. So from a content point of view, it's it's draining to actually get the stuff out, but it's also fulfilling in the sense that when you've got an idea and you post it out, that at the end of the day you kind of feel proud of what you've put out, whether or not the likes are there, the views are there, but just knowing that you've put out something that you believe in, that you know it's quality. So this kind of makes all of this worth it. So, say that's the update. Take care.